All right, happy Christmas Eve, everyone. Merry Christmas. Basically, I just wanted to do a video about evangelizing. Jesus is the reason for the season. And I just had one of the best things happen to me on the way home. My heart really loves to share the gospel with other people. So I was walking home. Evangelism is pretty easy for me, and just said to this lady, I love those stockings you're wearing. And she had like these little elves stockings, and that opened the door up. And I said, how's your Christmas plans going? What are you doing for Christmas? How you doing? And I never met this woman in my life, and we were walking together home in the same apartment building, and she's like, holidays aren't really fun for me. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she said she just left a bad relationship. So um, we talked a little bit, and I said, well, you're welcome to come to church with me tonight if you don't have any plans. And she's like, oh, where are you at? And I'm like, bada bing, bada ba, gave her directions. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, but I'm not real churchy. And I go, well, yo, not yo, but like, in the Rocky language, just being able to relate to people, really getting down to their level. Jesus came for the lowly. He didn't come for those who thought that they were something and didn't need him. There was like no Christian snobbery in Jesus. And many times we think, oh, once we have this and once we have that, then I'm going to be on top of the world. And Jesus hung out with the lowly and the meek, and he came for sinners. He wasn't into all the sparkles and showy traditional stuff when it came to religion. So I just said, basically, yo, I had on my street clothes at the time, and I'm like, I'm not religious either. And she was sharing some stuff about her Catholic background, and I'm like, yeah, all about the rules. I know what you're talking about, and half the time you don't even know which rules you're following. I mean, I said it's like, basically you are, always stuck between a rock and a hard place. You don't know what's coming, with the rules. There are no like standard rules. And so I shared its relationship with Jesus. He can be known. It's not about the rules. So she was like, exactly, exactly. And I was really talking her language. And so she's like, where are you at again? And I told her, and she goes, well, maybe I'll come over. And so I'm like, yo, I live over here. If you need anything, just come on over, knock on my door, and I'm here for you. And I think, when we're sharing the gospel with people, we want to be really available. We don't want them to think we're just selling something to them, because we're not. And we want to be genuine and true. We want to make sure that they know they're cared about. God doesn't desire that any one of them should perish. And and we want to be humble. True humbleness is not, pride is not being filled with the Spirit and walking with God. Pride is thinking you don't need God. And Jesus spoke against the Pharisees often, and he even saved the Pharisees. But true humbleness is knowing, if God did not die for me, I'm no better than the next guy. I would be going to hell too. So when we realize that we are no better than anybody else, it's going to help us really break through that genuineness. And I don't really believe in separation. I think you can be around people. And Jesus was around people all the time. He sat with them. He had dinner with them. You do need to be cautious about some things with people. Like this girl who just stole, I was walking with her friends, and they're like, oh no, she's going to get us to steal. Oh no, we don't want to hang around with her. We shouldn't be friends with her. And I'm like, guys, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So people can influence you if you let them. But depending on whether you're a strong or weak Christian, if you are a strong enough Christian, you can be anywhere. And I pretty much feel like depending on your conscience, you can pretty much be almost anywhere and still be like Christ. You don't have to feel like, I have to have only these type of people around me. And I do think there is a line where there are certain, there's certain people around you who will encourage you and motivate you. And you do need to put yourself around that. But Jesus was with the worst people, and he already was strong enough to come and save them. So I think the more we walk in our faith, the stronger we're going to be able to witness to anybody. So that's pretty much what I got for now. I'm headed to a Christmas Eve church service. I'm somebody who will probably also go somewhere else where this church is not having a Christmas service. I will probably go somewhere else tomorrow for Christmas, just because it's Sunday. Every Sunday you go to church, and it's something I've always done. And if I cannot find, a service that I want to go to, then I will stay home tomorrow. But definitely Christmas is here. So if I don't do another video, Merry Christmas to everyone. And I hope that you understand Christ more this year, and come to him if you don't know him. Okay, thanks guys.